Lesson 108 is all about transformations, nothing about robots in disguise. Sorry, it's about how shapes can look different depending on how we manipulate them. We're going to learn about 3 ways you can manipulate a shape by rotating, reflecting, and translating. So these two triangles, triangles ABC, triangle XYZ, are congruent, meaning they have the same shape and size. They're pretty much the same triangle, they just aren't oriented the same way. They aren't set up the same way. They're facing a different direction, like looking in a mirror or tipped on its side because it was a windy day or something. So, think of it like all your desk chairs in our classroom are the same for the most part, but they might look different if one's tipped over or one's flipped around or one's upside down or on a desk. But they're still the same. They're just being oriented differently. So one way to decide are they congruent is to position them on top of each other, so to speak. The 2 triangles below are congruent, as we will see below. They can be positioned on top of each other using one of our 3 methods. Okay, let's check that out. To begin, rotation is a word you know. Rotate means to turn, right? Like a knob on the shower. We can take this triangle, which used to, on the previous page, look like the dotted line triangle here, and we can rotate it. I think this is supposed to say 90-degree rotation. It's a degree sign. 90 degrees counterclockwise, so it's standing up. It's not tipped over anymore. Let's pick up our chair so it's standing up like the other one, but they still don't look exactly the same, do they? Next, we translate, which is a big word for slide the triangle over so it's next to the other one. Technically, we call that an orientation. We just did something to triangle 1 to put it next to triangle 2. Finally, you know the word reflect or like flip, right? Like in a mirror, you can look at yourself getting ready for the day and everything looks the same except technically your left eye is on the right and your right eye is on the left, right? So reflecting means we got to flip it so that what was on the right is now on the left and what was on the left is now on the right. Kind of like that. So they reflected over across this line of symmetry. The 3 moves we call transformations. To review, rotation is turning it about like a pivot point, a certain point. Translation, slide it over. And reflection, like in a mirror, flip it over a line, like the line we had here. That was like a line of symmetry there. So you're going to actually just to fold a piece of paper, line paper is fine. And you've done this before. If you cut now a triangle out, it's going to be exactly the same. Or what's the word we use for exactly the same size shape? It's going to be a congruent triangle, congruent, because of that fold. And that'll help. You can practice these transformations with a real triangle. You can do this with a partner if you'd like. You could have them place them in a certain orientation, then you have to talk about which ones you're using. See if you can use all 3 to get them on top of each other. And then maybe make those triangles look like a lot of the ones in these examples, like these ones or these ones. And then you can actually practice what you're doing in letter C. You can set them right next to each other. They don't need to be translated. And practice, okay, rotate means now it's just like number 2. Okay. F will give you some challenge. Why don't you try all of these and write down what you learned.